Hello, I'm going to share with you guys how to do some researching. All right, let's do some research. When you go to the Learning Commons webpage, you will find that there are several database options here when you click on BHS databases. We are currently subscribed to several different things. We have some EBSCO. We also have all these Gale resources. These are all fantastic. Kite Learning is great for tech tutorials, teen health and wellness for that. Let's start with an easy search on EBSCO. So let's say, for example, we want to do some researching on some film stuff. So we're going to type in Slapstick comedy films. You may need to log in depending as to where you are. You should know the username and password, but a lot of these will also allow you to just log in through your Google account, your school Google account. All right, so you'll see now that we have all sorts of great resources. We have nearly 20,000 hits here. Okay, that's a lot. We can probably narrow this down. Academic journals, they're like serious college professor, pretty intense sort of stuff. Maybe you want something not quite as intense. You'll also notice that there's a lot of ebooks in here. You will notice that there are periodicals for like magazines and newspapers, things like that. There are different reviews. There's all sorts of different resources in here. The great thing about databases is that you can search things and filter things very easily. So we can filter this very quickly just by clicking show more, and we can get rid of a lot of this stuff. So if we just want news articles, magazine articles, and ebooks, and we'll click update. There we go. Now we've only got 10,000, so we chopped that in half. Right. All right. So now we've got an ebook. We've got a periodical here. We've got on our radar, whatever that article is. Okay. So if we go down here, there's some Charlie Chaplin, Laughing Matters, the computer animated film. So we're kind of looking for ebooks. Look at that. There's one all about Curly. We've got the history of film. Let's click on that one. Okay. Now, once we get in here, there's a lot of things we can do. Over here on the right-hand side, you see all these tools. So for example, Google Drive, you click on that and you're going to be able to save stuff right to your Google Drive. You can print things, you can email things, you can citation. Look at that. Okay. So here's your MLA. Oops, I went by it. Sorry. There's your MLA citation right there. You can just copy and paste that and it'll go right there. Of course, if you also send things to Google Drive, it'll send things that way too. The permalink is a handy feature. You can't just copy and paste this URL up here in your main window browser. You actually have to go down here and to send this if you want to share with the teacher or a partner or whoever it happens to be, because this URL changes and this one does not. You still have to be connected to the high school and know the high school username and password and stuff to view the link, but this is the link you want to send. All right, so we'll shut that off. So some great features there. The citation, I think, will, and the permalink will also appear in your Google Drive if you want to send it to that. All right, so we've got our book here. Okay, down at the bottom, we'll give you some relevant pages. So it'll kind of give you some ideas. You know, it's kind of highlighting, oh, there's slapstick, there's comedy. So here's some pages that might work for you. Okay, table of contents is a handy place to go where you can kind of jump around and kind of see which chapter might be handy. Because remember, if you're doing an ebook for a research project, you may not have to read the whole book. You may just need a chapter. You might just need 2 paragraphs, but it could be 2 really good paragraphs, right? So you have to remember that one of the reasons why we want to use databases as opposed to Google is that databases that we're talking about here are just purely academic stuff. It's just going to be good research information. Google and YouTube, yeah, you might find some good stuff on there, but anyone can post there. This is all stuff that's been, looked over, checked over. This is just good academic stuff. Okay. So be careful, YouTube and Google. You don't know what you're going to get. All right. So here we are. We have this ebook. We've looked at the table of contents. We can now either download it if we want to download it. Probably the easiest thing is we're just going to click on PDF and it's just going to open up the book. And here we are. You're going to see over here, we've got the table of contents as well over here. Now this looks really large. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit so I can see a little bit more of each page. There we go. We can also like pop this up into like full screen and other things here. Let's try that. Okay, so here's our full screen look at the book. We can scroll up and down. We can do all sorts of different things with this. All right, so now, but we still don't really know what to look for in the table of contents. We can also click down here on the index and we can get some, some terms back here and where things are going to be located. So if this ever stops spinning, we will see the table of contents. This is not going to be hyperlinked, so we're going to have to go searching back through this, but we can now kind of look up comedy and we see Slapstick Comedies. There's a couple of different pages here. Another way to do this is over here on the left-hand side, you see your table of contents. You also see this button called Search Within. So if we click that, we can just type in Slapstick. Now we have some options and we can hyperlink right to them. All right, so it looks like page 61 could be a good page. So we're going to click on page 61. And now we have this right direct, here we are. Here's where our information is. We don't have to go wandering around the book. We just click on that and there it is. So virtually all the major films genres evolved and were codified during the 1920s, but none was more characteristic of that period than the slapstick comedy. And so now this is going to go down and tell you a little bit about this, the early stages of slapstick comedies. This is going to be good information. Look, you can see there's some pictures and stuff to talk about Chaplin. Buster Keaton, he's a classic, right? So you can kind of play around and read some things that way. So remember that search within button because that's going to be absolutely crucial. You can probably look up all sorts of other different things in here to kind of see what else you get. All right, so if you do want to look up like Buster Keaton, oops, here we go. Buster Keaton. Now it'll give you some more information on just Buster Keaton. So we can go straight here to see what we have for Buster Keaton. Okay. My notes is a section where you can create notes. Okay. And then those will get exported out when you export out to Google Drive. All right. Don't forget about your citation and don't forget about your permalink and your Google Drive stuff. All right. Good luck. As always, feel free to shoot me an email anytime you have any questions.